Carolina. That's what Baker Mayfield's trying to do. He needs to play and play well to set the stage to become a starting quarterback next year. We assume he's going to be the starter in Carolina. Not so fast, my friend, as the great Lee Corso would say. Here's Matt Rule, coach of the Panthers, on Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold splitting reps in training camp.
Yeah, the first 2 days we decided to have Sam, well, for day one, Sam took all the 1 reps with the 1 group. Baker took all the 2 reps with the 2 group. Excuse me. Tomorrow we'll have Baker take all the reps with the first group. Sam take all the reps with the 2 group. And the thought process being we really wanted our guys to have the ability to work with the same receivers for the entire day. You know, especially, you know, obviously Baker's, you know, got the install last night and this morning. He's out here trying to execute it. So we wanted those guys to have some consistency at receiver for the first 2 days, and then we'll start to mix things up a little bit more. And then we had Matt and PJ split the 3s.
See, yeah, usually when you're splitting reps, you're splitting them in a given practice. When I saw on the internet they're splitting reps, and then I looked at what he said. Well, no, they're not splitting reps. They're splitting days.
Yeah.
This guy's the one today. The other guy's the one tomorrow. Now, how long is that going to last? I don't know. But, Chris, at some level, the very fiery and passionate Baker Mayfield has to be asking himself, what the hell's going on here? I'm the first overall pick in the draft. I'm the guy that they brought in because they've seen enough of Sam Darnold, and they're making him the starter to start training camp. Is this going to continue day after day after day? And is there a chance I'm not going to start week 1 when the Browns come to town? I remember when they did the introductory press conference. We were doing PFTOT at the time. I'm not sure what you were doing. I was working. But nevertheless,
I was not.
I said it's never going to be any better between Baker Mayfield and the Panthers than it is right now. Once adversity comes, that's when we find out if Baker Mayfield has changed. And this is the initial, are they testing him? Are they applying a little pressure to him to see if he's matured, to see if he's going to be a pain in the ass, to see if he's going to complain and grouse and be a problem? Because this is the kind of thing that past Baker Mayfield would be pissed off about. Walking through the door first day of training camp practice, and you're not the guy who's getting the reps with the ones when you need the work to get yourself ready to go.
Yeah, I hear everything you're saying there. I do. But I think, something you talk about all the time. Again, no team just wants to roll out the red carpet or just hand guys anything, right? And Baker Mayfield, even though I think you and I both believe that he's better than Sam Darnold, he's not so great that you just go, oh, he's the guy no matter what. They're going to kind of make him earn it. And to Mike, to what we're here, he's learned the offense last night. He's just getting a hold of this thing. So they don't want to throw him out there and just also go, hey, you're the guy. And then the first week or 2 of practice are kind of bumpy and not going that well. And then everybody's looking at it going, man, they're going to make him the guy. This is not that great. He's, okay, well, they're trying to, let him have some time to learn the offense here, make it look like, hey, he's competing for the job and he beat out the guy and earned it, to what we talk about all the time. I think that. And I think the splitting of the reps on a day-to-day basis, it's not that crazy. That I've heard that approach before from football teams. What it does is like Matt Rule says, it lets the quarterback get in rhythm a little bit, and you get a little feel for, wait, how does this guy lead the troops all day? Instead of like, hey, it's you're leading the troops for 3 plays, and now the next guy's in for 3 plays. Sam Darnold gets to kind of have ownership over the first team on the first day. And you can kind of evaluate that. How does he lead? How does he handle yelling at this guy, or we're having a bad part of practice? And then now today, they'll get that experience with Baker Mayfield. And to me, that's where Baker Mayfield's going to separate himself from Sam Darnold, is the leadership factor and just the edge he gives the football team. That at least is something I look at.
I say all the time as the owner and operator of a media outlet that I love a good story and I really love chaos. So I don't want my desire for chaos to happen in Carolina to cloud my judgment. I like the way you explained it, because think of it this way. You already have Robbie Anderson, who was not thrilled about the idea of adding Baker Mayfield and who later said he's just sticking up for his guy Sam Darnold. You have to win the locker room. So I guess there's no better way to contrast the two guys then let Sam Darnold continue as the number 1 guy for the first day of training camp, and then day 2, here comes Baker. It's the flip side of the example you used when the Panthers were being linked to Kenny Pickett, What's going to happen when Pickett shows up and the players say Sam Darnold throws the ball better than he does? Well, today's Baker's chance to go out there and perform in a way that makes those guys say, okay, now we know why you brought him in.
Yeah, and exactly right. Exactly right. And I think they'll manage him. I'm sure they're going to, be basic and simple. I will say, though, I mean, Baker Mayfield, as we discussed, I think he's a better quarterback. He's a better player. He's got a better arm. He plays in the pocket and makes more special throws than Sam Darnold. So that's where I give him the advantage. And hey, he's we said he's behind, as far as the playbook's concerned. But in Ben McAdoo's offense, it's West Coast based, just like Kevin Stefanski. I would think there's going to be a lot of similarities to where he could pick it up pretty quick. So we'll see. It's going to be about that development. And then to what you said, Mike, can he open up some eyes? And do we hear a little chatter, after week one where it's say, hey, both guys are doing good, but, man, Baker made a few throws last week. Woo, man. That's what you start to hear as camp goes on, and that's what I'll have my ears, listening for.
Yeah, hey, it's going to be fun to see how it plays out, and it's going to be, again, from my own selfish perspective, fascinating to see what happens when inevitable adversity strikes. Has Baker Mayfield learned anything from his time in Cleveland, or does he just blame it all on the Browns the way Carson Wentz did last year when he got to Indianapolis? He was able to blame it all on the Eagles. What's going to happen this year? It really will be fun to watch. And look, the Panthers could still be pretty good.
I know.
NFC wide open.
Yes.
The wild card spots are wide open.
Wide open.
And the Panthers, you look at the rest of the division beyond the Buccaneers. We don't know what the Saints are going to be. We have a pretty good idea what the Falcons are going to be, and it's not good. The Panthers have an opportunity to finish second in the division, and if you finish second in the division, you got a pretty good chance of making it into the wild card pool. And again, for Baker Mayfield, if he wins the job and plays all year and it goes well, that sets him up for next year.
No doubt. They need the offense to show up. And you're saying it right. Their team's good. You look at the roster, they're young. Their offensive line was an issue, but it was the number 3 defense in football. They got corners growing on trees there. They're very talented at all 3 levels of their defense. It's one of the most talented defenses in the game. It's the offense that was the problem last year. Whether that was Joe Brady, Sam Darnold, McCaffrey getting hurt, blah, blah, blah. They got to be better and more consistent on that side of the football. If they can be an offense that's in the middle of the pack in the NFL, I think they can be one of those teams you're talking about where we go, man, Carolina's got a chance to make the playoffs. I think they have that type of talent. I do.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.